Hey guys, today we're going to talk about the VersaGripps straps and how they've helped me improve in some of my particular exercises with strength gains and eliminate the need for a super strong grip and release some of the tension in your forearms, and specifically how they compare to a standard set of weightlifting gloves like this. So these are my about 2.5-year-old gloves. They work really well for protecting your hands. There's a little bit of padding near the palm of the hand. There's some ventilation in the back, and the strap, it provides a little bit of wrist support. These are made by Harbinger. They're about 12 or 15 bucks. I can't remember which, but again, they work well for simply protecting the hands. But what they don't do is, again, they don't provide a ton of wrist support. So when you've got exercises where you need the back of your wrist supported a little bit. And the other thing they don't do is whenever you've got weights that are a little bit heavier than 10, 15 pounds, you really have to grip that dumbbell, that barbell, even the pull-up bar with your hand, and you have to have a tremendous grip strength, and that puts extra tension on the forearm. Now, that's not a bad thing necessarily if you need to improve your grip strength, but if I'm trying to focus on a shoulder exercise, or again like a pull-up where I want to concentrate the tension on the muscles that need to be worked, I don't want that extra tension in my forearms, nor do I want my hand grip to be failing before the muscle group that I'm trying to exercise has fatigued or failed. So what I have are these VersaGripps straps, and I got these back in March of this year at the Arnold Expo based on a recommendation of a friend of mine. And you can see they're kind of weird looking, and they go on pretty easily. They're just a simple Velcro strap, very similar to your weightlifting gloves. And so you can see right away that the support on the back of the wrist is quite a bit more significant and more rigid than the set of gloves that I had previously. And the other thing you'll notice is it has this funny looking flap thing here, and that provides protection of the palm, just like the weightlifting glove does. But the other unique thing about it is that I can wrap this piece of the strap around the dumbbell, around the barbell, around the pull-up bar, and essentially I take all of the tension out of my hand, out of my forearm, and into the strap itself and on this wrist joint. And it's much stronger and much less likely to fatigue faster than the muscle group that you're trying to work, whether that's the back, the arms, the shoulders, whatever the case may be. So here's a 15-pound dumbbell. As you can see, I put my hand underneath here like that, wrap it around like so, and now I can basically lift this with 2 fingers, as opposed to before, I gotta hold that thing with my entire grip. And I know in some cases, some of you guys maybe have some white knuckle grips. This eliminates that almost immediately. I can raise this to the side, to the front, and for the most part, I'm working my entire shoulder muscle. None of the grip fatigue comes into play, none of the forearm fatigue. And so, it really allows you to focus on the muscle groups that you're trying to work for that particular exercise. So that's this scenario where you're trying to do a pulling movement. If you're doing a pushing movement, you simply wrap it around the other direction. So the strap itself, or the protection, is between your hand and the dumbbell, the barbell. And then that provides the protection for your hand, for your palm, for your knuckles, just like a set of weightlifting gloves would. And so, these are really versatile. They provide all kinds of ventilation, because really there isn't anything except for the strap around your wrist, which also has a nice cushion to not only provide support but comfort at the same time. They fit on, for the most part, loosely, and there's no tension around the wrist really. You just they're pretty comfortable. The other thing you'll notice is that this piece of the strap is always up, which you may not think about too much, but if you've ever had to use, or if you've ever used just the regular cloth straps or what have you, they simply fall or lag, and you have to kind of work them to get them in place. Whereas these, you know, as soon as I grab that dumbbell, it just automatically kind of is in position, and so all I have to do is kind of cinch it down a little bit to get it right around the grip portion of the dumbbell, and I'm ready to go. Again, they go on and off pretty simply, pretty easily, pretty quickly, and so again, these are going to allow you to get rid of, you know, if you've ever had a problem with fatigue in your grip in your forearm before the muscle group that you're trying to work has actually been worked to exhaustion. You know, I have that problem all the time with pull-ups in particular. So I'll use this for pull-ups. It allows me to take off all that tension that I normally have in my hands and my forearms, where, you know, a lot of times my back isn't completely exhausted from the actual pull-up motion, but rather just holding on to the bar. So these are a little bit more expensive than your traditional weightlifting gloves. I think this particular set is about $50. They do have some cheaper, less, I think they're just smaller, basically, sets that you can buy as well that are a little bit cheaper. But they do last quite a while. You can see that, you know, this is made of a nice coated cloth, and so they wear really well. Versus those gloves, you know, they tend to stretch and not retain their elasticity for too long after constant use. So, you know, I don't have that problem with these. And, you know, the Velcro itself is very, very strong. I don't ever have a problem with it coming off or coming loose. So yeah, definitely consider a pair of straps like this. They don't have to necessarily be the VersaGripps straps. These are just the ones that I have. I'm sure there's others that are comparable, to allow yourself to take away that potential failure in your grip strength and your forearm fatigue for the different moves, different exercises that you're maybe not able to get as many reps without your actual grip failing before your muscle group. So check them out. VersaGripps.com, I think, is the website you can get them from. Again, you can probably find some other ones, or these particular ones, elsewhere as well. You can also check out the other reviews, the other nutrition fitness tips on my website, www.yourfitnesspath.com. This is Coach Chris. Thanks, guys.